Alright, in this video I'm going to take a look at using colors on our pages and different ways that we can list some colors for our page. So here in my CSS file and my HTML element, so I can set the color for the entire page, I'm going to set a background color using background-color. And I want to pick a color. Here I have a color picker tool that I found, and there are a lot of different things that we can find here. Since this is a Halloween page, I'm going to use some orange some orange and black and some fall colors. Here I kind of like this color, and with this we can see in this color picker we have a number of different ways that we can define this particular color. So first I just want to try using the color orange, and with CSS there are a number of just named values that we can use. So here let's go with this dark orange. So here I'm just going to put in dark orange, call that color by its name. I'm going to save this, and then when I refresh my page we can see I have that color here. Now if I don't like that, or I want to do that a different way, instead of saying dark orange, I can use an Hsl value, which is this hue, saturation, lightness. I can use the RGB, which is red, green, blue. I can use a hexadecimal value, which is done with the first two numbers or the first two characters in that hexadecimal value. I'll go ahead and use that. So we always start that with the hashtag, and then it's in order from red, green, blue, or to blue. So F0 is the red value, where F is as much of that color as you can get, and 0 is the least amount. And hexadecimal works from 0 through F, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. So altogether there it goes up to 15. So here we have 15 and 0, and then for the green it is 6E, and then the blue is 1D for this value that we have down here in our color picker. So now I'm going to save this, go back to my page, refresh it, and it's a little bit different than the one green color that we had, but we can see that we do, our green color, orange that we had, but we can see that we do have that orange color. I can use this RGB value instead, where we have RGB, and if you're going to use an RGB value, then you need to type RGB and then open and close parentheses. Inside of those parentheses is going to be those values. So 240 for red, comma, 110, comma, 29. And now when I save this, we go back to our page, I refresh it, and we can see that's pretty much the same color. I can also use the Hsl values. So here, going to change that to Hsl 23, 88, 53. Save this, go back to my page, and that doesn't work. That doesn't work because these are percentages. So you need to have the percent sign after them. Since you're using HSL, I don't know why it doesn't just recognize it, but we have to have that percent sign after those. I apologize. The first one is not a percent. It is just the value. The second two are percents. So here we have 23 for the hue, 88% saturation, and 53% lightness. So now when I save this, refresh my page, we can see we have that color. And the alpha number here, that has to do with the transparency or the opacity. So if I wanted to make that a little more transparent, on the HTML element, that may or may not make as much sense. You can kind of make it a little bit lighter, but using the transparency comes in handy later on if you have another color on top of it. So we'll take a look at that here in a minute. We'll do another element and give it some opacity. So here I'm going to use the 0.3 for the opacity, save it, and refresh it. It kind of lightens up the page because what you're seeing is the white behind that. So I'm going to remove that 0.3 from the color for this element. And then down here, let's see. Yeah, we'll put some color on this section. So background, color, colon, and let's see. Actually, up here, I'm going to take this orange color out, and I'm just going to make the background black. And if you want to change the color of your text, then you just use the attribute color, and that will take care of the color of the text and some other things that you have. But you do not need, if you try to use text color or font color, that's not going to work. You just need to use the word color. So here I'm going to use the word white. Let me get rid of that hashtag so it works. And then when I save this and refresh it, we can see we have that. So now in this section, I'm going to put this Hsl value that we did have for that orange, save it, refresh it, and we can see we have that orange color on this. And again, if we wanted to put some opacity on that, I'm going to use the 0.3 that we used before. Save that and refresh it. And now we can see it's more of a brown color instead of that pink color, and that's because that black is shining through. And when we look at putting something over top of an image, that some of that image will show through there instead of some of the color coming through. And you can also do that. I'm going to put a background on this heading. So let's go over here to this color picker, and I don't know, we'll pick a different color. Maybe we'll go with a blue, kind of a light blue color here. So here I'm going to use this RGB value on the header element. I already have that selected. Here I'm going to set the background color to RGBA, since I want to add that alpha channel or add in that opacity. So now I need 72, 128, and 217 for that blue color. And because I want some opacity to that, I'm going to put in, say, 0.8. And now when I save this and I come over here and I refresh my page, I can see that's not highlighted anymore with my mouse. It's just setting that color with a 0.8 opacity. I can change that to say a 0.4 opacity, and now we can see, and these colors are different from each other because they have different colors behind them. This entire section has this kind of brownish color, and this is on that, so it's showing some of that brown through this blue, where this is showing some of the black through the blue. Now if I come back in here and I change the color of this section a little bit, I'm going to take out the opacity. I forgot to add in the A for using that opacity anyway. Now we can see this is more of a pink color instead of that kind of brownish color that we did have. Or again, if I put that back in there, or that kind of dark blue color. So just changing the color of the section now is changing how that color on top of it looks. So you have to be careful when you're layering those colors like that, that you're paying attention to how they're going to interact with one another.